Hello and welcome to Paint It Haint. I'm your host, Adri Hayes. And today we're going to get into one of the most quintessential Southern legends out there. Like if you're not from the American South, this is this will give you an idea of what our folklore and culture and legends are comprised of. So today we're going to talk about Robert Johnson. Who is he? Famed Delta blues singer who allegedly sold his soul
to the devil.
so he could play the guitar. But let's get into it. So Robert Johnson is born in 1911 in Hazelhurst, Mississippi. And we don't know much about his father, but we do know that he came from a family of sharecroppers, but he was not about the sharecropping life. He did not like that. and I mean, who would? Look into sharecropping and you'll see why it's ill. Um, so his mother would move him and the family to Memphis for a little bit, and then they would move into the Delta town of Robinsonville, Mississippi. And this is where he starts to really pick up his musical abilities, liking music, right? So he starts with the harmonica, then an instrument called the Jew harp, and I'll post a picture of what that looks like. You've probably seen it, but he starts playing that, and then he starts to play the guitar. Now, here's the messed up part about Robert Johnson. He was not the best guitar player. People actually described his guitar playing as noisy. Ouch. Noisy. Yikes. So, what he does is he just later days away off the blues scene. Like for 18 months, he's gone. When he comes back, he's really good. People said that he could make the guitar sing. And if you don't know what that means, I would say listen to, of course, Robert Johnson, Jimi Hendrix, listen to them. That's the way I understood it, as making the guitar sing. It's like it has its own voice. And so people are like, where did you learn to play all of a sudden so good? And that's when the legend comes up, or the idea, the belief comes up that homie sold his soul to the devil. So this is the legend. That's the short of it, but this is what they say happened. So he went to the highways, or where the highways cross, of 61 and 49. So highways 61 and 49, near a plantation by the name of Dockery Plantation in Mississippi. He gets there at midnight and he basically calls on the devil. The devil appears and tunes his guitar for him, plays a couple songs on it, tunes his guitar for him. And then he's like, here you go. Oh, by the way, I need your soul from you. And Robert just says, okay. He gives him his soul. That's the legend. That's what people think happened with Robert Johnson and how he got so good. Because after this, after he comes back from that 18-month hiatus, he's, like I said, he's real good. Not only that, he is playing all over the region. He's playing as far as New York and Chicago. In fact, the song Sweet Home Chicago is his song. He's playing at house parties. He's playing in different camps. I heard specifically lumber camps. So he is doing the damn thing. But that legend, that belief is kind of still on him, and he begins to write about it in his songs. So let's get into some of these songs that he got my notes here, that he wrote. So the first song is called Crossroads. Okay, the song called Crossroads. And the lyrics goes as follows. I went to the crossroads, fell down on my knees, asked the Lord above me, have mercy. Now save poor Bob, if you please. Now, initially I'm thinking, is he telling on himself? But then I thought about it. He had lost his wife. He had been married. He had lost his wife, and so maybe this was a song, kind of reflecting on that anguish of the loss of his wife. Oh, and his child. So this woman, this girl, she was 16, died in childbirth, and that really affected him. And they say that's what actually pushed him to play music. It was almost like a catharsis for him. But now let's go to this next song, Me and the Devil. Early this morning, when you knocked upon my door, and I said, Hello, Satan, I believe it's time to go. Me and the devil was walking side by side, and then the song ends with, You may bury my body down by the highway side so my old evil spirit can get on a Greyhound bus and ride. Me and the devil. Are you trying to tell us something, Robert? I feel like this is a cry for help. And then there's this song, Hellhound on My Trail. Well, that is just very self-explanatory. And to quote Tituba from the play and the movie The Crucible, to kind of quote, he had truck with the devil. She had no truck with the devil, but he certainly damn did. he 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 was doing something, because these songs right here are like, it's like you're telling on yourself, right? So he has these songs, and also during this time, so after he's been on a hiatus, he records 27 songs. One of those, Sweet Home Chicago. And side note, again, I would implore you to go listen to his music. There's another aspect to why people are like, this dude is a little weird. I think he was running with the devil. They said that his voice sounded so mature. He's only in his 20s when he writes this song. Now, to be fair, this is my great grandparents and your great grandparents, I'm sure. This is their generation. These are very salt of the earth people. So, and especially people of color, black people who have been through it. So they might sound a little older. Um, him losing his wife, his child, the situation he's living in, the environment he's living in, is being poured into his music. But even still, people were like, he does not sound like a young upstart. I think that he's been with somebody, and his name is Satan. like people really believe this, and they said that he didn't say, he was neither here nor there with it. He was just like, maybe I was, maybe I wasn't. I don't know. Listen to my music. Let me shred on this guitar. Um. So yeah. So he records 27 songs. He's sort of living his best life, and then he dies at the age of 29. So the legend, I guess you could say this is a legend. The story goes that, and this is what I've heard, is that he died after being poisoned through whiskey. That's what I heard. The legend goes that, or the story goes, I keep saying legend, the story goes that he was fooling around with somebody's woman. To be specific, he was fooling around with one of the owner's wives. um, and so in response, they poisoned him through a glass or a bottle of whiskey. Now, his death certificate says that he died from syphilis. And I don't know if it's a case of he that the coroner or whoever saw like symptoms of syphilis like on his body as he was being examined, or was this a case of like, hey, did you see me put poison in that whiskey and that boy drank it? You did. No, you didn't. Like it's like that. I don't know if that's what happened, but we know that he dies at a young age. And what's so interesting and what I love about this story, other than the legend, is that he made such an impact on music. Like you have artists today who credit him making the guitar sing. You have, I believe, was it Jimi Hendrix that said that he was inspired by Robert Johnson and blues as far as like how he played the guitar. So this man just like left he did his thing and then he left. He well, not on his own volition. I'm pretty sure he wanted to live past his 20s. But that's the other amazing part. He was in his 20s doing all this. So say what you will, but homie had ambition. But what do you think? Do you do you think that he sold his soul to the devil? Like I have a mind, of course, of like logic and supernatural. Logically, I think that in those 18 months, and this is miraculous, in those 18 months, he practiced his behind off. He hung out with the greats, saw what they did, saw how they worked the guitar. And that was how he got so talented so fast. Supernatural side of me, Southern girl, says, nah, now, homie did go down to them crossroads and spoke with the devil and gave Satan his soul and was like, "Here you go. Now I get to teetly teetly dee on the guitar." Um, that's where I'm at. But tell me what you think. Like, do you think that do you like do you think that he sold his soul to the devil, or was it something else? Did he do some juju? Like what? What do you think he did? I mean, those songs are they feel kind of telling. You know what I mean? Like, feels like he's trying to tell us something. Hellhounds on my trail? Wow. Like, what's going on with that one? But please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you're new here. If you like what you heard, or if you're not new here and you like what you heard, like, you can hype me. I guess that's on my videos. I don't know what that hype button thing is about, but let me tell you, on the next Paint It Haint, we are going to talk about the were hyena. So we're going back across the pond to Africa, the motherland, and we're going to talk about the were hyena, because oh my god, like, this is my thing. Our ancestors, I feel like slavery was the tip of the iceberg as far as what to fear, and like I believe that, I mean, slavery was up there, and then like as far as like once not even once you got here, like on the Middle Passage, of course, absolutely terrifying. But while you were at home and free, now you're worrying about all these different creatures. What do you mean a hyena that can turn into a human? What is that about? Why? Like, I mean, it boy, our ancestors, poor babies, they had a lot to deal with. God. It just sucks. But that's what we're going to talk about on the next Paint It Haint. And I will see you then. Thanks for watching. Bye.